July of 2022?
Yes, sir.
Where were you living at that time?
At 3996 North Fraser Street.
Did you say North Fraser?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And were you home?
Can you speak up, sir?
Sure. Were you home the night of July 20th
Yes, sir.
21st of 2022?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And who was with you that night?
My husband and my brother was asleep in his room.
Okay. And did you notice anything out of the ordinary that night?
No, sir. I was asleep, and then I was awakened by banging on my front door.
Okay. Tell us about the bang.
Like I said, I was asleep. I heard somebody banging on my door, so I got up, checked, looked out my window, and I saw a little boy.
Did you recognize the
Yes,
the boy?
sir.
And who was he to you?
He was my neighbor's son.
Okay. And your neighbor, across the road or beside you? Where?
Next door.
Next door?
Yes, sir. When you're standing in that yard, they'd be to my right.
Okay. Were you close with your neighbors?
No, sir. We spoke. We were cordial, but never really hung out or. So.
Understood. What happened after he got to you?
So he was banging on my door, and when I got in my dining room, I heard yelling, "Hey, hey!" So, like I said, I looked out my door and I saw him, and I was like, "What in the world?" So I unlocked my door, and the first thing he says as I opened the door is like, "My dad's been shot. My dad's been shot." So I, brought him in, locked my door because I didn't know what was going on, and he was like, I was asking him, I'm like, what's going on? He's like, my dad was shot. So I go get my phone. My husband by this time has been awakened by Junior. So he comes out to find out what's going on. He's talking to him, just, trying to calm him down. I get on the phone with 911 and call, tell him, I need police and an ambulance.
Okay. And so, tell me about can you describe the boy in more detail to us?
Yes, sir. He was, I don't know how tall. He was probably right around my shoulder, tan. He didn't have a t-shirt on. He just had shorts, no shoes, running straight over to my house.
Young kid?
Yes, sir. About 9.
Did he appear in a normal state? Or
He was frantic.
Disturbed?
He was frantic. He was upset. Very, very shaken.
How do you know that he was upset?
Just by his demeanor when he yelling and, that his dad had been shot.
Is he making hand motions? Or when you say demeanor, what do you mean?
No, he was just very, very upset, very distraught.
Trembling, shaking, anything?
Yes.
What time did you place this call?
About midnight.
Midnight?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And when you placed this call, was the boy still under
Oh, yes, sir.
some stress?
Yes, sir.
Did it seem significant?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. And did he tell you who shot?
When I was on the phone with 911, she asked, and he heard her, and he said, Ron Todd. She asked me, she said, did he say Ron Todd? I said, yes, ma'am.
This night, when John Jr. is at?
Yes, sir.
Okay. When he came over there, you said that you and your husband, y'all were already in the bed, or
Yes, sir.
woke you up?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And did you hear any gunshots?
No, sir.
Okay. And how far would you say your house is from where John Jr. lived and where the shooting occurred?
Roughly 100 yards, maybe. I'm not 100% sure.
Were there any houses between you and them?
No, sir.
Okay. So you would be the closest house to where that was?
Yes, sir.
All right. And when you opened the door, you heard the knocking on your door.
Yes, sir.
You immediately opened the door.
Well, I looked to see what was going on, and I saw him. I saw John Jr.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Did you know who he was?
Yes,
when you
sir.
saw him to the
Yes,
door?
sir.
All right. And as I understood it, you said that you and you weren't close to his family, but you knew who they were.
Yes, sir.
All right. And now, did you know Emily?
No, sir.
You didn't know her?
No, sir.
All right. You just knew John's father and John?
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir.
Had you ever seen Emily over at John's house other than on that occasion?
Not that, no.
So you'd never seen her
No, sir.
prior to
No.
this? When you were responding to the 911 operator, you were being as honest and forthright as you knew how
Yes,
to
sir.
be, were you not?
Yes, sir.
All right, and you were saying exactly what you had been told by
Yes, sir.
the young man. And you say that he told you that he was in the bathroom, that he came out and he saw blood.
Yes, sir.
Did he ever tell you that he heard voices talking at any point in time?
Yes.
When did he tell you that?
When he came over, he said that he heard Ron's voice talking to his dad, and the next thing he knew, he heard shots.
But that's not what you told 911, right?
No, sir.
All right. And did you tell anybody else that before today?
No,
that,
sir.
That there were, that he heard voices before the shooting occurred?
No, sir.
All right. So for 2.5 years, your story was that the kid said that he was in the bathroom, he came out, and he saw blood. And now you're saying 2 years later, 2.5 years later, that he told you that he heard voices before the shooting occurred. Is that fair?
I'm sorry.
My question again. You told 911 that what he told you was that he was in the bathroom, he came out, and he saw blood. Today you're telling us, now you're saying that he also told you, which you've never told anybody for 2.5 years, that he was talking before the shooting occurred.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir, what?
I mistaken not said it.
I'm sorry?
I mistakenly didn't say it.
You mistakenly didn't say it, and for 2.5 years you hadn't said it, but now today that is your story.
Yes, sir.